So it's a subtle science. So, in the same way, what we are practicing, our spiritual science, it is subtle. We are practicing Krishna consciousness. It is a subtle science. We are still using the same thing. How do we change our consciousness? Through mantra. It's a subtle science. And this sounds, it sounds mystical. That's why people will not believe it. Just like my auntie, she is a chemist. So she's like a chemist is like it's science. They study chemistry. It's like a science, how to do this, how to do that. So she's like a scientific person. So then I told her that if you chant this mantra, it will change your consciousness. You will feel bliss. She said, "Oh, that is nonsense. That is rubbish. How can you just say some words and it will make you feel like a particular way?" So they think it is just like a mental speculation. As Prabhupada says, in the Krishna Consciousness Happening album, 1966, Prabhupada says, it is not an artificial imposition of the mind. You've heard Prabhupada say. Prabhupada is speaking at Chaitanya. It is not an artificial imposition of the mind or an intellectual adjustment. The mantra is not that. We're not just making our intellect adjust or artificially imposing something on the mind. No, it is stemming from the soul. And that is the proof for us. We cannot prove it to anyone else. You can only prove it to yourself. You can only experiment on yourself. And of course we see the experiment working on others, but it's only us who experience it. We experience, practically. We chant the mantra and something takes place in the consciousness. It is scientific action. That's what Prabhupada calls the nectar of devotion, the science of no, it's on the cover. The science of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, it's the science of Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada said this will be the law book for 10,000 years. This nectar of devotion. It is scientific. The science of Bhakti Yoga. And in Shikshastika, Lord Chaitanya said it's scientific. Our process is scientific. The first verse of the Shikshastika, Lord Chaitanya said there are 7 results of chanting the holy name. It's a scientific project. If you chant properly, those 7 results will gradually unfold. What is the first one? Cheto, Darbana, Marjana. Chitta. What is your chitta? Chitta means your consciousness. Darpana. What is darpana? A mirror. Marjana means cleansing. It is cleansing the mirror of the consciousness. A nice analogy. Mirror means you look in the mirror, what will you see? Now you looked in the mirror this morning, everyone looked in the mirror, what did you see? You say, "Oh, I saw myself." You did not see yourself. If you saw yourself, probably you would faint. If you saw yourself. Like one time, Brahmananda Prabhu, one of Prabhupada's early disciples, he said, "Prabhupada, I had a dream. In the dream, you were a golden youth." Srila Prabhupada said, if you saw my actual form, you would faint. We do not see the self. So you look in the morning, what do you see? You see your material form, which is covering your spiritual form. But when you chant, the dust will gradually cleanse. And when it cleanses, then one day you will see yourself. You'll get up in the morning and you'll look at yourself. And you'll actually see who you are. And who are you? Do you want to know who you are? This is the point. Do we even have a desire to see ourselves? We're happy seeing this in the morning. We think, oh, this is who I am. I am a Mataji. I am a Prabhu. I put on tilak. That's not who you are. That's Abbas. Abbas means the shadow. Okay, at least it's good now you're putting tilak on, you wear kanti mala, you wear devotional, that's good. But that's not who you actually are. The original form is a spiritual form. So it is a science, it is a scientific project. Cheto, Darpana, Marjana, and then 6 more benedictions are given. So it's a science. So the Vedic science is subtle. It is based on mantra. Mantra changes consciousness. And if you chant mantra, your consciousness changes. If you don't chant mantra, then you have to rely on gross science to get changes. Just like these days. I saw some figures the other day in America. I can't remember what the figure was. 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 or 1 in 5. I'll say 1 in 5. We'll give like a smaller percentage. But 1 in 5 women in America get plastic surgery, facelift or something, some adjustment. So they want to change the form, but they do it in the gross way. Science. We change the form by mantra. You want a beautiful form? We'll give you a beautiful form, but you have to chant this mantra. You get the most beautiful form. You get a form which is Sat, Chit, and Ananda, Vigraha. You get a form full of eternality, knowledge, and bliss. That's better than this form. Rukmini said that, Queen Rukmini. She was fanning Krishna. It's in the 10th canto, the Krishna book. She was fanning Krishna. Krishna was being fanned by Rukmini. He said, why don't you go and marry Shishupal? And why don't you marry me? What's the advantage of marrying me? I wasn't the strongest of the kings. The more stronger kings, Shishupal, Jarasandha, you could have married someone more powerful. Rukmini was so devastated, so hurt. And she says, why would I marry someone whose body is made of hair and muscle and fat and blood? He said, why would I marry that when I can marry someone whose form is Sat Chit Ananda? That's why the associates of Krishna are the greatest jnanis. They're the most learned personalities. Actually, the gopis, who are cowherd girls, they just live in a village, they make cow patties all day. They're the greatest jnanis. Because they're attached to God in His spiritual form. That is the ultimate destination of jnana, of study. That you understand, this is what I should be attached to, spirit. The first verse of the Bhagavatam says, the Bhagavatam is meant to differentiate between that which is temporary and that which is eternal. The very first verse. That's why we study Bhagavatam. You know you're advancing when you can differentiate. You're not attached to that which is temporary, you're attached to that which is eternal. So Rukmini, she is the greatest jnani. The gopis, they are the greatest jnanis because they're attached to Krishna and nothing else. So by studying the Bhagavatam, this is the result. So we're seeing here in this pastime, Maharaj Prithu, he ruled the whole earth. Why did he rule the earth? Because he was powerful enough to do it. People want to rule the earth, but they cannot. They don't have the potency, they don't have the power to rule the earth. They cannot take charge of everything. And Arjuna did it with Prithu Maharaj, and then Arjuna on behalf of Yudhishthira. They did it with a bow. And the subtle science of mantra, the weapons were so powerful they could take over. Now, Prithu Maharaj, he's ruled the earth, and then it says in this verse, what is he doing? What do you do when you rule the earth? Anyone? Is anyone here? Hare Krishna? Anyone? Anyone at home? Can you please send a text? what did he do? Yes, madam.
His book says he worshipped those that would.
Very good. Very good. That's what this verse says. He rules the earth. He's the most powerful person on the earth. And he's washing the feet of other people. Interesting point, isn't it? Can you imagine like that? So now, okay, look at the most powerful person on the earth now. Right? We could argue who it is and what it is, but I'll just, we'll just pull someone out who could be. You say Donald Trump. Okay. You say, okay, Donald Trump. Most powerful person. The most powerful army on the earth is the American army. They have the most weaponry, the most militarily, the most powerful nation. Commander-in-chief of the most powerful nation. But how often will we see him bathing the feet of the other people? He'll show respect to the Korean leader and this one and that one, but will he come to this point? Holy people. It says Brahmanas. This is Vedic culture. What is Vedic culture? The Kshatriya, the king, always gives respect to the saintly people. Those who are saintly. He will always give respect to those who are saintly, to those who are spiritually focused. That is the nature of the Brahmana. The king will always give respect. That's also something which is lost in this day and age, in the Kali Yuga. Actually, the government should be sponsoring ISKCON. We should be government state-sponsored. We shouldn't have to worry about money. We have to go out and work hard. Just like all the brahmacharis, all the brahmacharis, they all just spent the weekend at the catering job, Golden Plains, made $30,000 for the temple. Worked very hard, great sacrifice. Setting the example. That's what Brahmacharini Ashram is called. Set the example for the Grihastha community. Full surrender to Krishna. But actually, we shouldn't even have to do these things. Well, still we'll do it anyway, we'll just do it prasada. But the state is meant to sponsor. The government should just be sponsoring ISKCON. Here, have as much money as you want. Run the temple. Here's $10,000 for Radha Vallabha. Here's $1 million for Radha Vallabha. Expanding. It should be state-sponsored. And Kali Yuga, these things are lost. Now, in some places in the world, the government tries to stop the spreading of Krishna consciousness. They actually, in many places, in Russia and China and different places, sometimes they even give us land and then they try to take the land back. In Moscow, we've been having, for years, we've been having problems. They gave land and they said, no, you cannot use the land. Even to this day in China, it can be dangerous. In the past, the government used to, in China, burn the Bhagavad Gitas when they found them. The devotees would print thousands of Bhagavad Gitas. The government would find them, set fire to everything. What do we call that? Naughty. Very naughty. It's demonic. That's not good. Actually it's evil. To burn the Bhagavad Gita. Imagine the reaction which is coming for the people who did like that. It's very, very simple. So, Prithu Maharaj, he understands, even though he is the emperor, even though he is the most powerful person, what does he do? He bathes the feet of holy people. He shows respect to the holy people. And then, in the purple, Prabhupada gives the example of Krishna himself. Who is Krishna? Right? According to this book, he is Swayam Bhagavan. Itecham Sakala Pumsa. Krishna's to Bhagavan Swami. Krishna, what does Krishna mean? All attractive. all attractive. Krishna's two. What does two mean?
Only you.
Two. Two. In Sanskrit, what does two mean?
You.
No, it means but. But. You know, sometimes when you speak in English, you say but. When someone says but, you say, okay, here we go. You can have whatever you want, but. Or everything is free, but. Or this word is very, you know, when but is there, it means something. So, but. Krishna, but, because in that chapter 3 of the first canto, they list all the incarnations. Not all of them, but many incarnations. Prabhupada pointed out there are so many incarnations you cannot mention them all. Krishna, there are so many incarnations, but Bhagavan Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna himself. He is the original form. So Prabhupada says the original form of God, it's in the 10th canto, the pastime is there. The original form of God on earth came down, and when Maharaj Yudhishthira performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, that original form washed the feet of everyone who attended. Why did he do that? Very good. To set an example. Yadyada charaki shtrestas. He says it himself in the Bhagavad Gita. If I do it, other people will do it. Why does he do it? Because if he can do it, then we have no excuse. Would you bathe the feet of all the devotees here in the temple?
Yes.
Yes.
Must.
Yeah. Of course.
No, must.
Must. Very good. Must. But everyone thought about it. Interesting. I was watching everyone's faces. Would you bathe the feet of everyone in the temple? Everyone was like... Most of them, yeah. Would you actually do it? And bathe all the devotees? Everyone? Bathe the feet. Drink the water. Put the water on your head. Would you do it? Challenges the ego, doesn't it? It does, it challenges the ego. Would Donald Trump do it? Probably not. He might, but he probably not. Even devotees, they get challenged. Would you bathe the feet of all the other devotees in the temple? And put their water on the head? Would we actually do it though? I mean, do you have to bathe everyone's feet, even the devotees you don't like? Bathe their feet and put the water on your head. Interesting. Would we do it? Challenges the ego. But Krishna is showing us in the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He did that. Why did Krishna do that? Because he doesn't have an ego. Interesting. Most powerful being that exists, and he's free from ego. He's happy to bathe, wash the feet, give respect. Always respectful. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was High Court Magistrate. That means in India he's very high, very powerful, even in the British Raj. He was the most powerful Indian-bodied person in the whole British government. In India, out of all the Indian bodied, but he was so powerful. He was a High Court Magistrate, very powerful position. But it says that anyone who came to his house, he would greet them with great respect. Whether they were a beggar or a very aristocratic person, great respect. He was very free from ego. So Krishna would bathe the feet of everyone who came to Maharaj Yudhishthira's sacrifice, showing us. Why? Because Krishna is showing us the example. If he can do it, we can do it also. And actually we have to do these things regularly. You have to do menial service for the devotees. And it's good to do menial service for the devotees you do not like. because that will overcome your envy. Otherwise you'll take birth again in the material world. If you can't give up your enmity, okay, devotees are different. Some of us are different. Like some of us are like, chalk and cheese, or what do you say in India? Pakora and samosa. Or what do you say? I don't know. You have a saying in India. In English we say chalk and cheese. It means different. People are different. I'm different. Some devotees we don't get along. We're just different. My conditioned nature and their conditioned nature is different. But in the mind, we have to offer respect. Okay, we don't associate closely because we're different. But in the mind, we must offer respect. And you must be willing to serve. And you should always serve those devotees. Unless someone is offensive. If someone is offensive, then you can avoid them. Keep them at a distance. Otherwise, they will continue to commit offences. But otherwise, we should offer respect and serve. So you see, Prithu Maharaj in this verse, such a powerful, powerful personality, and he shows us this example. Any questions or comments for what we discussed? Yes, Mataji.
Can you comment on the visitors being worshipped according to their respective positions?
Is in the purport or the verse?
In the verse.
In the verse. First of all, worshipped all the respectable visitors according to their respective positions. Yeah. So it means according to Varna and Ashram. So if someone's in a higher Varna, like the Brahmanas, then the king would offer respect. He would bow down and so forth. With the Vaishyas and the Sudras, he would not bow. Just like we were reading last night, you have Krishna in chapter 73, I think it was. 73 last night? Yeah. The one after 72. Yeah, 73. So in 73 chapter, what does Krishna do? Liberates all the kings. In chapter 72, he kills, is 10th canto. Krishna kills Jarasandha through Bhimasen. Bhima gets Jarasandha and kills him. And then he liberates all the kings, because Jarasandha had captured how many kings? 20,800 kings. That's a lot of kings. That's how powerful Jarasandha is. He grabbed 20,000. Like if you go to the MCG, when Australia plays India in the cricket. I know you don't go because you're all detached from everything else. But if you go there, there's 100,000 people. So imagine that's a fifth of what's in there. I mean, that's a lot of people. And Jarasandha's captured them, 20,000 kings, and put them in like a MCG kind of thing. Just put them all in and said, you guys are staying there. So powerful. So then Krishna, Bhima, liberates them. He kills Jarasandha and then they release them. And then they all offer respect to Krishna. And then at the end of the chapter, chapter 73, after they've released all the kings and allowed them to go back to their kingdoms, then Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna, they go back to Indraprastha. And they come to Maharaj Yudhishthira. And it says the three of them bow down before Yudhishthira. Because Yudhishthira is older than Krishna. Bhima and Arjuna are about the same age as Krishna. We're only talking a couple of years. It wasn't like, everyone was greatly different in age. But Krishna has shown culture. If someone's older, you have to offer respect. So according to their respective positions means according to Varna, according to ashram, also according to age, according to spiritual advancement. There are 5 ways that we offer respect in Vedic culture. If someone's in a different Varna, like a higher Varna or a lower Varna, like a Kshatriya will offer respect to the Brahmana, but the Vaishya and Sudra offer respect to the Kshatriya. According to ashram, We all offer respect to the sannyasis because they're the highest in the ashram order. According to age, you might have been a devotee longer, but someone's an older person, then you offer respect. And then according to, what's the other one? There's 5.
Spiritual.
Yeah, that's the 5th one. There's another one there. Just trying to think what it is. It's not in my mind right now. There's another way that we offer respect. And then the 5th one, which is the overriding one, is spiritual advancement. And that's shown in the Bhagavatam itself. Who was the speaker of the Bhagavatam? Shukadev. Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev, he was 18 years old. Right? And he walked in like to an assembly of sages. They were hundreds of years old. Very powerful. You see on the inside cover, you see he walks in. And even Narada Muni, who was Narada Muni? Very good, said yeah. And Vyasadeva was there. Who's Vyasadeva? His father. Right. I mean, you walk in, you don't speak in front of your father. He sat on the Vyasa-san in front of his father. And who was Narada? His father's guru. Vyasa's guru. You don't walk in and speak in front of your father's guru. But both of them sat there and they said, take the Vyasa-san. 18-year-old boy who walks in naked. If someone walks in naked, we don't say, oh, please sit down and give class. Right? We beat them. Or in Australia, you can't beat them. In Australia, they say, oh, excuse me, Prabhu, put a gumshoe on. But in Vedic culture, someone walks in naked, you go, hey. We beat them. But when Shukadev walked in, right, everyone offered respect. Everyone stood up, except for Vyasa and Narada, because they were senior. They just offered pranam, but everyone stood up. Right? So this is the Vedic culture. We have to offer respect according to the superior position of the other person. So according to the position, then he would worship him. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Would you like to add anything? Anyone else like to ask a question or comment? Yes, sir.
How did Sukadev become more spiritually advanced than Narada Muni?
He was the parrot of Radha and Krishna. So he was there in the pastimes. He saw the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So he had the most realization of the highest subject matters. So therefore, when he appeared as Shukadev, they recognized. When we're spiritually advanced, we can recognize who is more advanced than us and who is less advanced than us. When we're not so spiritually advanced, we have trouble working out. Oh, is this one more advanced than me? Is that one not advanced? Then we fight with each other. I'm more advanced. I've been here for 2 weeks. You've been here for 1 week. So then, we become like, because we can't work it out because we're not very advanced ourselves. When you're advanced, then you can work it out. Who is more advanced? Oh, he's more advanced than me. He's less advanced. This devotee is less advanced. I have to give them kripa. I have to give them mercy. I have to instruct them and guide them, give them shelter. When you're more advanced, then you have to give shelter. You're not. If someone's equal, then we associate together. If someone's more advanced, then you have to serve them and take guidance from them. So they knew. Narada knew. Vyasa knew. Is it okay? Any other question? TK? Thank you for coming. See you next time. Hare Krishna. Please come again.